What's up, Internet? This is Rambling Josh, and you're watching another episode of Failcraft, the show where I critique my own performance for your information and entertainment. Today we have myself, the Blue Zerg. I did play random, and I did get Zerg, versus Daxius, the Red Protoss, who doesn't feel like responding to my GLHF. Today we are spawning on Jungle Basin, and I'm sending out my Overlord slowly across the map. I believe I'm sending my Overlord to the natural. That's just what I tend to prefer to do, just simply do that to keep an eye on the natural, see when they expand, and send a drone scout out to... there he is. Send a drone scout out to scout the main. It would appear that at the moment I am ahead on drone count. I did use the extractor trick to have for a little while 11 out of 10 food. So here's my drone scout, just kind of chilling there for a second. Taking a look around, and he sends all of his probes after me, and I decide to get myself an extractor to keep him busy and get some extra information if I can. And he wasted a lot of time killing my extractor there and not mining. I decided to let it keep going, and I can see that his Nexus is chrono boosting out probably a Zealot, and that is in fact the case. Still ahead on drones, but that's pretty much all I've got at the moment. Just now getting my extractor. My second Overlord is just now getting to my back door, so I can keep an eye on that. And there goes my extractor. It's going down. My first Overlord's just now reaching its position, and I'm expanding on 14, it looks like. Or probably 15. Looks like I got my spawning pool first, since I was thinking that he got this Zealot out. I forced him to get that Zealot out with my extractor. Gas steel there, so probably getting that spawning pool to defend with, and that's obviously for economy. Not sure where this Overlord's going. I would guess probably to sit on the high ground here, since that's kind of off the beaten path. Not a bad choice. Got some photon cannons here for defense. Another gateway and a forge. Forge is just for the cannons. Still head on the drone count. Good stuff, good stuff. Getting a little supply blocked here. Or not supply blocked, but a little short on supply. First queen coming out, second queen coming out over there. Good, good. Fast queens. I like fast queens. Looks like he's perched his Zealot there to keep an eye on his back door. Not a bad idea. Doesn't look like his gateway's rallied. His Nexus is, though. Let's see here. Looks like both my queens are out, and I'm spawning some larvae. Where's my third queen? Come on, need a third queen to spread that creep. Where is it? Where's that queen? Got two spine crawlers. I like to do that when I expand early. There's my third queen. Yeah, I like to get these spine crawlers when I get an early expansion, just to keep holding my base. Got 3 gateways up. That's a pretty quick 3 gate. Well, maybe not. Oh, and looks like I've got some plans here for some poking about. I do see that there's no expansion here, which I wouldn't expect one at this point in the game, but Scouting is one of my weaknesses, obviously, so it's good to have that information. It looks like this overlord's heading to this base, so... And I got these lings at his front door to get an eye here. I see there's too many zealots and I back out. Probably a smart move. I don't think I lose any. No, I lost one zergling there. So, at this point, I have a good idea of what's going on. I didn't see any stalkers in that mix. So I'm fairly confident in my information at this point. Got a whole ton of lings here now, probably overcompensating a little bit. Starting to slowly spread that creep with my third queen. I'd say I should probably be doing that a bit quicker, but... Oh, bad control on my lings there. They catch a few off guard. Trying to draw the zealots into my spine crawlers. Trying to make a point not to engage without the spine crawler support. Probably a good idea. My queens are just sitting here. I was doing some shuffling around with my queens earlier that wasn't the best. I really should have been injecting this larva a lot better. I probably didn't need those queens in that engagement at all. And really I should be going out with these lings. I did a decent job of getting out there earlier, but I mean this amount of lings would be just fine against these zealots, and I really need to be applying the pressure on this front door to keep an eye on my opponent, who appears to be a bit supply blocked and is now expanding. Looks like I'm still pumping some lings. I do have a few more drones coming out though, so I got a pretty decent saturation here. I should really be getting up these extractors, which it looks like I'm doing now. Because my plan here was to go for mutalisks and zerglings. My opponent kind of looking around a bit with his zealots. Got a decent creep spread here, but really I need to start spraying this creep out here for my lings. He just walks right in here. I'm not sure what he thought he was going to do. Of course, I don't see it for a little bit, so he doesn't get very far. Anyways, but he just loses all his forces. I don't quite understand why he thought the same force he attacked with would be any better the second time. Energy of my queens is starting to get a little bit high. I need to be injecting better. Where's the injection? Just get up to the lair, so my spire should be going down any second, and my minerals are getting a little high, but I'm not too worried about that as Zerg. Just because you can pump out so many units at once that your minerals can afford to get a little bit higher. Here I'm getting missile attacks, which is a complete screw up on my part. Somehow I was thinking that missile attacks would help my mutalisks when they eventually come out, but still not building that spire. Not quite sure what I'm doing. Looks like I finally got my lings up here. Let's back up a little bit so we can see what actually happened here. So I group up a little bit outside his base. At this point I do know he has an expansion up, but that's about it. Poke in a little bit. That was probably a miss micro. Didn't quite realize what was going on. I'm confident I can take this force, but I don't want to engage on his ramp. I want to draw them out to get a full surround. That's good stuff there. Yeah, there's a probe there for some reason. He was building these pylons here, but I don't know that. And really, I probably should have pulled back again to try and get a full surround on those two zealots. Probably lost some needless lings there. Try and run into the mineral line here, but not the best control. I end up killing only about like 3 probes because I can't attack command because that'll just make me go after the cannons, and I try to just right click on the probes individually and not end up doing much. Had a couple lings that rallied here. I figured I might as well take out these pylons. I gotta withdraw with these guys, right? Okay, that's good. Back in my base, my spire is... Where's my spire? Where'd it go? No, it's somewhere. Oh, there it is. And I'm getting missile attacks at level 2 because it wasn't bad enough that I screwed that up the first time. Really not doing so good on the creep spread here, but I do have a second creep tumor there that I got planned to kind of creep in addition to this one. Multiple creep tumors do spread the creep faster if they're in the same vicinity. My minerals are way high, even if I was planning to pump out a bunch of mutas as soon as my spire gets up. So I've got one expansion going down here. Ton of lings sitting here. They should really be at the front door here. Gotta know what's going on. I'm doing a better job in this than the last game, but could still... I mean, considering the force he has, I could really be up in his base doing a lot of damage. Got a couple lone lings coming out across the map. Minerals are getting really high at this point. I got 10 mutas making, and they're still really high. And he hasn't done anything with this overlord. And notice that at this point he's got 3 starports. I don't know this, but he doesn't have any stalkers. So other than these 2 void rays that just popped out and these 2 cannons, he doesn't have any anti-air. My mutas are just popping out now. Still high on the minerals. A little high on the energy here. This queen's full. I should really be spreading that creep a lot better. This base is way out of the way. Just getting this base up to try and dump some minerals. Looks like I queued up a bunch more mutas and my minerals are in a better place now, but income's still kinda high. So what I got here is I got these lings sitting at the front door. These lings sitting at the back door ready to attack these rocks. And I got these mutas coming around the side here. Let's just take a look at my APM real quick for this exchange. So sending in these zerglings to kind of try and occupy them. At the meantime, I'm hitting these rocks to try and open those up, and I'm hitting the back here with my mutas. But by the time my mutas actually get in his base, my lings at the front are entirely cleaned up, and they basically did nothing. These lings here are attacking this rock, doing nothing. I take out his void rays, no problem. He's out of anti-air. I see his pylon placement isn't the best, and I decide to try and unpower his buildings. These lings are still attacking the rock there, not doing anything. I'm basically just sitting around waiting for the game to end at this point. And my opponent leaves without a GG. Not that I was expecting one. Not bad on the whole, but my execution wasn't the best. I could have been a little bit more aggressive with my lings. My creep spread was pretty horrible. My macro wasn't the best, but once these hatcheries got up and running, I'm sure I could have managed it just fine. This attack here was basically I won entirely because I had mutas and not because of my execution in the least. My attack on this front here was completely pointless. My goal was to try and draw away any forces while I battered down that door and while I came in the back with my mutas. In general, that's not a bad strategy, but you didn't have anything to draw away from the front. And all I ended up doing was losing a whole ton of zerglings for no reason. These guys, I could have been attacking this rock way earlier. I mean, that can't reach me. What I should have done is broken down those rocks first and came in from the back with my zerglings where his forces aren't. Or come in earlier with my mutas to try and attack his back and maybe draw away his forces. I don't know. Really, it all came down to these mutas didn't have a whole lot to go against them, and that ended up being the winning factor. Not bad on the whole. Better aggression, better scouting. Macro's still horrible. A little iffy on execution, but some good things there. Creep spread, not the greatest. At the least, I should have tried harder to have these bases linked, even if I just kind of threw them down to dump some minerals. Anyways, that's about it for this episode of Failcraft. I'll catch you next time.